Alright, y'all. So today I want to quickly cover some recent MCU related news that kind of came out over the past few days. Specifically, Josh Brolin, the voice actor and mocap actor who played Thanos in the Infinity Saga, specifically, of course, Infinity War and Endgame. Was in a recent interview with a I guess kind of a YouTube journalist, I think. He was kind of discussing his future projects and potential ideas, and Josh was mentioning the fact that he, like I said, he apparently keeps in contact with a lot of the people at Marvel pretty regularly. He mentions that he is like in contact with the Russos and talks to them all the time. And of course, we all know that the Russos are directing the next two Avenger films, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Now, if you know anything about the Secret Wars comic, there is a famous panel, I guess you can call it famous, in that comic where King Thanos, kind of a variant of Thanos, where he basically becomes king and the ruler of that dimension. Um, Basically, Doom destroys him, as God Emperor Doom, of course, destroys Thanos in kind of a really quick and really captivating panel in a comic. I think if I remember correctly, he rips out his spine and his skull from his body, just kind of showcasing the immense power. And this is also, by the way, a Thanos that does not have the Infinity Gauntlet. Um, and like I said, it's a pretty striking moment in the comic book. And there's been also kind of fan made animations and 3D renders that have shown fight scenes between Doom and Thanos. And people have been speculating, if is Thanos going to actually return in these next two Avengers films? Is Josh Brolin going to reprise his role as Thanos? And kind of when asked about this potential idea in an interview, Josh Brolin kind of, he didn't obviously say it, but basically kind of coyly toyed around with the idea that, like, yeah, I would love Thanos to return in the MCU, and yeah, it'll be awesome, and I'm always in contact with the Russo, so we can totally do something. And that's basically all the news that happened. Um, this kind of, in my opinion, inadvertently confirms that Thanos is going to probably appear at some point in Secret Wars or Doomsday. My speculation could be Doomsday, but regardless, my quick thoughts on the idea of Josh Brolin coming back to do Thanos. I mean, I'm honestly pretty excited for this. It basically would be a cameo. I mean, it wouldn't be like a full-on supporting role, I'm assuming, in the movie. But the way that Josh Brolin kind of toys around with that idea, kind of plays coy to the question when asked, basically kind of confirms that he might be involved. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh my god, Thanos is confirmed to be in the movie. But, I mean, the way that, like I said, it's kind of funny. They're filming the movie now. And, there hasn't been any talk about Josh Brolin and Thanos coming back to the MCU, unless you count What If. That, like I said, been seriously talked about until just recently with the filming of Doomsday and Secret Wars happening. I mean, it's a bit of a too much of a coincidence, right? It just feels a bit like too coincidental that all of a sudden all these ideas and all these questions and all these responses are kind of coming in the way they are. And plus, like I said, Thanos is technically in the Secret Wars comic. He doesn't make like a substantial appearance or anything, but it's a pretty famous panel in that comic that Thanos appears in, where God Emperor Doom absolutely destroys him. And I mean, obviously, this wouldn't be the same Thanos. This would probably just like another multiversal variant of Thanos. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same one that we saw in Infinity War and Endgame. Probably would just be that variant King Thanos. But regardless, I wouldn't mind Josh Brolin coming back as Thanos, even for like a cameo in the film. I think it would be pretty sick. It would be a really awesome part of the movie. I know I've heard some people say they wouldn't really want to see Thanos get destroyed like that, but I mean, it's such a cool part of the comic, right? I mean, it would be a cool moment, right? It would just be like a moment where we all watch it in the theaters. And like, bro, it's like what if Thanos and Doom fought, right? It's just kind of like one of those scenarios, and actually seeing that kind of play out on the big screen would be awesome. So, I totally support the idea of Thanos coming back, even like a sort of cameo in the upcoming Avengers films. I'll be totally down for that. But like I said, it's all rumor right now. We'll have to wait and see if it is actually confirmed. But yeah, just kind of give you my quick thoughts on some recent speculation that's been going on, and hope you all have a nice day. Peace.